Hi, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be starting a really short vlog, just Monday through Thursday, because Friday starts spring break. Hallelujah. Cannot get here soon enough. If my voice sounds a little bit off, it's because I am still on the tail end of a cold, and my voice is in the scratchy part with some coughing. My students were so kind to me today to say, Miss Jane, your voice sounds like, you sound like you're getting sick. I'm like, no, it's just the tail end of a cold. Thanks, I didn't realize that. So it's gonna be a really short vlog. I am going to try to prioritize reading this week. It is one of the, it's not necessarily a readathon, but I'm part of the Final Book support group. It was a support group, a chat, there's a Discord server, but we're having a dedicated like readathon-ish Final Book. So I'm focusing on series because I failed on that last month. I have 3 books here. I know it's a short week that I'm doing for this vlog, just during the week vlog. So I probably will get to maybe 2 of them, especially because one is huge. I'll show you that in just a moment. That's the goal for this week. Friday, again, starts spring break. And then on Saturday, I might do a separate video or I might just include it in my spring break vlog. But my dad and I are going to do a little day trip, so like midday Saturday to midday Sunday, down to Atlanta. It was the funniest reaction. He mentioned something about going to bookstores, and I went, so yeah, he laughed at that. My goal this week is to at least definitely finish the last Quintista. I'm so excited that my hold came through the library. I was 12th on the list, and I went to pick up The Well of Ascension. Saw this in there, and I'm like, oh wow, suddenly went from 12 to, I got it. So I've heard such good things about this. I'm so excited to read this, even though it's sci-fi, just because I've heard such good things, and it's won a Newbery Award. Then the very large book that probably won't get through, I did not realize it was this large, and that is Crooked Kingdom with those sprayed edges. But I will have to refresh my memory on Six of Crows because it's been a while since I've read Six of Crows. Hopefully I'll refresh my memory on that. But this will not count for that readathon for the final book because it's just a standalone. This will count for that because it's the second in a duology. This one's just gonna make my series situation worse because this is the first book in a series. It's The Stormrunner by J.C. Cervantes. But sticking series themed, except for the last Quintista, just because I'm so excited about that. And I may or may not abandon everything and go to Well of Ascension, but that's probably for spring break vlog. So, checking in again, I thought about a different angle, but these days have just been so full. And I just got back from an ART appointment. That is active release therapy. I do it regularly to prevent possible injuries for running. And then I'm gonna go run. I just had to get just ate a little bit of bread, get some carbs in. I last night started, couldn't remember where I put the book. Last night I started the last Quintista. I already love it. So I read for about 50 pages or so. Really enjoying that. The other reading that I have done is my usual 4 pages or so a day. I'm going to apply that to Permission to Feel as well. For some reason, I've been feeling bogged down with that book, so hopefully I'll be able to finish it in March. So these earrings, they're platform 9 3/4. I've had multiple kids ask me, Miss Jane, you don't teach math. Why do you have math on your earring? Yeah, I don't know. So yesterday was a really long day, and I filmed the intro yesterday. It took several takes, my brain not functioning well, and when I can't think of words to say, my stutter, my jaw twitch acts up. So had to do several takes of that. I had a Mali-Men meeting after, and then I had my run, and then went to the grocery store, and so it was a long day yesterday, and today is shaping up to also be a long day. That appointment I put on my to-do list to postpone so that I wouldn't have to mix up my schedule. That's weird. My brain, again, not working right now. I didn't get to it. Long day yesterday. So I went to it, but it was at 5. So I had a run long, that would take longer than between 4 and 4:45 when I'd have to leave school to get over there. I stayed and I graded papers. I still have so many papers to grade. Yeah, got 7-ish miles to do. So it's going to be another late night. I have my afternoon classes are full of children who love to talk. Let's put it that way. And don't seem to learn their lesson. And it's getting to the point where, combine that with spring fever, I feel like I'm at the end of my rope, which is another reason why my brain is so frazzled right now. I went to go talk to my principal about some stuff for the field trip that I'm taking. I probably will cut this whole bit out, but I don't know. That weighed heavy on my head, just trying to think, well, what am I supposed to do if they're talking all the time? Because like, it would exhaust me to like do all the consequences. I'm not in a great headspace right now, but I'm acknowledging that based on what learned from Permission to Feel. I'm acknowledging it. I'm trying to sort through it. And I guess talking through it is part of that. But that also, when I get into these headspaces, I don't want to read as much, at least physically. I don't know. I get to the point where I'm like, okay, I need to read. I should read. It'll probably help. But I don't. I just end up like vegging. And so we shall see. I'm going to try to do some of the things that I've learned from that book. They do the thing ruler. I don't have it memorized, but one of them is regulate. The last R is regulate. Like the E is explaining something with putting words on it. Then regulating it is how are you going to deal with it. I've been thinking about that. So that book is really helpful. I'm just not getting through it very quickly. I've been thinking about that, and I'm going to work on things that I know help. I know running helps. I know reading helps. I know wallowing in my thoughts doesn't help. I'm going to go for a run now. So I just finished my run. The lighting is really weird, but let me see if I can fix that. So I just finished my run. I have a new location just because I didn't want to be in the same location. And those runs are really good for me to get out of my head, to not necessarily process things, because I wasn't thinking about all of that while on the run. It helps just unclog my mind in a way that's difficult to explain. So I'm going to briefly summarize what I talked about in the last clip, because I'm going to cut out some of the details. I don't think I'm going to give as many details as I did in that clip originally. Basically, it's just been really difficult lately. I have a couple classes that like to talk, trying to think of ways to get them to not talk while also communicating the stuff that they need to know. Some days you get to the end of the day and you feel like you banged your head against the wall all day. And other things that you hear or you talk to somebody about, they don't help. That basically was what I was talking about in that last clip. It's later, but it doesn't feel later because of daylight saving time. On that note, the Senate passed a bill that would make it permanent. So basically, we don't have to change the clocks anymore, but it still has to go through the House and be signed by the president. Oh, I hope that would happen. I hate the time changes. I want to actually talk a little bit more about The Last Quintista, what it's about. So it's a sci-fi story, and when I first saw the cover, I didn't think it was a sci-fi. Then I found out it was a sci-fi, and I hesitated. Sci-fi is not the genre that I am drawn to first. It's just not my favorite. But there have been books that I've enjoyed in that genre, and I have a feeling, even though I'm only about 50 pages into this, that this is going to be one of those. So the setup is, you have the main character whose name I cannot remember. I'm terrible with it, and I've only read 50 pages. But the main character lives on Earth, and this is clearly set sometime in the future. But there was a solar flare that happened to coincide with the circling of Halley's Comet. And the solar flare nudged the comet out of its path. And so now the comet is on a beeline for Earth. That means that there's some ships that are available that they can escape, and there's places they can go, but they can't take everyone. And so they end up having to leave her grandmother behind, and she loves her grandmother's story. They are Latinx. She hates that. I was actually thinking because I knew that she would be the last one left that knew these stories. So I was thinking that everyone else died or something went wrong, or, you know, something similar to some other sci-fi that I've read, but it's not that. I read the blurb on the dust jacket, so I'm not giving anything away. There is this collective, this group that wants to restart history, basically, and wipe the memories of everything that's happened before. That's horrifying to me as a historian. So the setup is somehow when they get to that planet, so it's been like 300 some years. So the original people who were going to stay awake are now dead. But they wake up, and I'm almost to that point. I thought for sure something was going to happen to people. But what happens is the collective succeeds, wipes everybody's memory. But somehow the main character still has those memories, and she's the only one that knows any of these stories of anything that happened on Earth all those years ago. That's the premise. She's gonna have to basically try to figure out how to give people these stories back. So I'm really excited about it. There's a genuineness to the fact that she's 12 years old. Definitely middle grade, and it feels middle grade, and she's acting that way. So I hope that the plot bears that out. Okay, so 3 updates in one afternoon on this vlog, but I couldn't not update. So God knew what he was doing. I had a former student just text me this evening. It's a student that I taught the first year that I went back to teaching, and he was asking me for college English advice, and wow, I feel old because I taught him when he was in 7th grade. I gave him some advice, and then he's like, yeah, I'm really nervous about it, and then he goes on and he's like, no lie, like, you were the best teacher ever, and so much memories, and like, you were a teacher that had an impact on my life. And after today, he was a kid in that class. He was a jokester, and he never took anything serious. He was a pain in the butt sometimes, but such a great kid. And it just, yeah, it's making me grin from ear to ear, and it's just a great way to end the day. So it is Wednesday. Had a much better day today. It's really nice when I don't have to try to keep them from talking because it's group work. Now, did all of them do their work? But I read only a little bit more of the Last Quintista. I almost did the whole thing in Spanish. Not enough that I have anything to update on that. So what I'm going to do now, because it's only 6:30, I'm already done with my run, already showered, already eaten supper, I'm gonna read. And I'm gonna read for like an hour or so. There's stuff I put on my to-do list that I showed you in my day in the life vlog, but you know what? I wanna read. So I'm gonna read. Spring break is here. That's literally the only thing on my mind, is that spring break is here, and I'm done. I'm checked out, ready to go, but I will literally sitting on it. So I read for a while yesterday, and I love this book. I really, really love this book. I have reached page 200, so I'm about at 55%, 60% of the way through. And the way that Donna Higuera weaves together the stories that Petra remembers. See, I remember her name. The stories of the world she remembers but shouldn't remember, with the things that are happening, and Petra's determination to tell these stories to the other kids from her cohort. They're called the Zetas. Clinging to just the importance of stories. It's just incredible. It's something that I love and I resonate with. I mean, I love books, obviously. Some discoveries that she makes about halfway through the book, it devastated me, because I can't possibly imagine a scenario like this. Because when she wakes up It's at the end of the journey. It's 380 years in the future from when she first went into stasis. The start of the book is 2061, I believe they said. She knows no one. Like, she can't find her family, and she doesn't know where to look because everyone has had their memories wiped and replaced by the collective. They were replaced with information so that they could be useful to the collective. She knows that she remembers. She's not supposed to, but she also notices that some of the other kids that she's in the room with also remember, but not when they're awake. They remember in their dreams. She wants to make a life for these kids with the stories, and just at this point, I know something is going to happen. I'm definitely finishing this probably first thing tomorrow. I love it. So I haven't been updating about the audiobook because it's like my billionth basically time through the Harry Potter books. It's the 6th Harry Potter book. So I'm not updating about that. The plan for tomorrow is lots and lots and lots of reading. And tomorrow is going to wrap up this very short vlog. I'm just doing a Monday to Friday vlog because I have a really cool weekend planned. I hope I'm going to try to do that as its own little vlog and then a spring break vlog. So the spring break vlog will be like the actual week where I don't have to go into school or work, and how much can I get read. But anyway, I'm going to go comb up my hair. I just finished my workout and maybe get some reading done. So it's almost 2 p.m. on Friday, the last day of this vlog, and I was about to say that I haven't read anything yet, but I have. I finished the last Quintista. I just compiled it a few minutes ago. It's one of my top books so far this year, and I didn't even realize that while reading it, but just going through compile just made me realize, like, each of these things I really appreciated. The characters were well done, the plot was well done. I loved the intrigue, the things made sense. It was so heartbreaking, but I loved the way that Higuera weaves together all of these stories. The stories from, she talks about her Mexican culture, and she's Mexican American. I added it to my wish list. I'm going to be getting it soon. So great way to start the day. But that's just a little bit of reading because it was only like 40 pages that I had left. What have I been doing in my day? I play Pokemon. I've been watching lots of BookTube. I've just been, you know, I think it's a British thing, faffing about. It's a day off, and I just was like, I want to do nothing. But I also want to read. Finished the last Quintista, so now I'm going to pick up Crooked Kingdom. I did find, there's a website that recaps things, and I found a recap of Six of Crows, which was very helpful. As I was reading the recap, I was remembering the things, because it's been 3 years since I read it, so I'm gonna dive into this and see how far I can get. If I'm able to finish this in the rest of today, I might reward myself with something. I don't know what, but it'll be a great way to end this really short vlog. So welcome to the end of the vlog. I'm gonna wrap it up here. Take my glasses off because of the glare. I did not quite finish Crooked Kingdom. I'm going to read it through one more set of sprints for the Final Book Support Group. So I will probably get close to 400 pages, probably around 375. So that will put me, so I'm a little bit over halfway now, so that'll put me probably about here with about a quarter to go, considering this is a nearly 600 page book. It's, I think, 571. I will take that as a win. After I finish this, so today, I will definitely finish Half-Blood Prince while I am cross-stitching. I listened to that a little bit earlier today to make use of my time while I was playing Pokemon. And then I have to decide soon-ish what I'm going to pick up for an audiobook next. I'm debating because I think I'm going to try to pick something that I will also listen to in the car with my dad on the way down to Atlanta tomorrow. So I was thinking I would use my Libro FM credit to get The Well of Ascension, even though I have it in physical copy. But I've recommended Mistborn to my dad, and he hasn't read the first one. So I'm not going to start reading Well of Ascension with him if he hasn't read that yet. Plus, there's other things on my TBR, and I can't keep bumping stuff off. Be that as it may, I'm probably it's going to be nonfiction. It's either going to be Braiding Sweetgrass or The Cat I Never Named. Just depends on what mood I'm in. Those are both nonfiction. One is about Native American, something related to Native American. I don't know 100%. I have to look up the synopsis or the description. It's highly recommended. And then the other one is a war memoir, I think in Bosnia. And I've heard that it's really good, but also really difficult. But it is a young adult memoir because one of the fellow teachers at my school was using it for one of the book club choices. So that would be a quick read. So those will be my next reads, and you'll find out in the next vlog what I get to. Of my ambitious TBR for a short reading vlog, I got through 1.5, and I will take that as a win, especially since at the beginning of this week, as you have seen, I had some really long days and not a lot of time for reading. So thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one.